A landmark decision was made today. As same sex marriage protections pass Congress, House GOP support decreases. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to Politico, 39 House Republicans supported a bill providing federal protections for same sex and interracial marriage, despite 47 GOP lawmakers backing similar legislation in July. Landmark legislation ensuring federal protection for same sex and interracial marriage saw a significant drop in House Republicans' support despite its overall passage Thursday, even after the Senate added language aimed at safeguarding religious liberty. 39 House Republicans ultimately supported the measure, which passed the House 258 to 169, with Representative Burgess Owens, a Republican for Utah, voting present. That's down from the 47 Republicans who supported an earlier iteration of the legislation back in July, underscoring a party that still faces significant backlash over support for same sex marriage. After Speaker Nancy Pelosi gavelled the final vote to rancorous applause in the chamber, the measure now heads to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature. House Republican Conference Chair Representative Elsie Stefanik, a Republican from New York, and incoming Majority Whip-elect Representative Tommy Emmer, a Republican from Minneapolis, were among the notable votes in favor of the legislation, continuing their support from July. Lawmakers had cited Emmer's vote as a reason they may not support him for whip, though he eventually prevailed in the conference vote. 7 House Republicans, Representatives Cliff Bentz, Mario Diaz-Balart, Brian Mast, Dan Musser, Scott Perry, Maria Elvira Salazar, and Jeff Van Dew voted yes in July on the legislation but opposed passage Thursday. GOP reps Adam Kinzinger and Lee Zeldin supported the bill previously but did not vote Thursday, and 2 Republicans who previously opposed the bill, Representatives Mike Gallagher and Jamie Haria Butler, supported its final passage. Herrera, Butler, Zeldin, and Kinzinger all will be leaving Congress at the end of the term. And it wasn't just Emmer who faced significant party criticism for doing so. Senator Cynthia Lummis, who ultimately backed the bill, alluded to the political backlash she faced for her support in a floor speech, saying, "It involved a painful exercise in accepting admonishment and fairly brutal soul-searching." She also mentioned that Americans address each other in more crude and cruel terms than ever in my lifetime. One of the 39 Republicans, yes, Representative Nancy Mace, explained her vote in favor of the legislation in a statement. "The right to marry whoever you love, regardless of the color of your skin or orientation, shouldn't be controversial," she said. "Our nation was built on the notion of individual liberty." Many of the LGBTQ members of the Democratic caucus, including Representatives David Cecilian, Mark Pocan, and Mark Takano, Angie Craig, and Chris Pappas, spoke passionately in favor of the legislation on the floor before House passage. "I'm standing here today because in the year 2022, families like mine are once again concerned that an activist out-of-step Supreme Court is going to take those rights away," Craig said from the floor. Pelosi said the legislation would codify a legal reality already handed down by the Supreme Court and noted it would be one of the final measures she would sign as Speaker. The House initially took up the legislation after Justice Clarence Thomas said in a recent opinion that the court should reconsider some past rulings, including its decision on same-sex marriage. Today, this chamber proudly stands with forces of freedom, not going back, and justice, Pelosi said on the floor. The final vote also occurred as Biden, who became the most prominent Democrat a decade ago to speak in favor of same-sex marriage, spoke at the White House with the wife of WNBA star Brittany Griner to celebrate her release from Russian custody. Some Republicans that opposed the measure did so with conviction. Representative Vicky Holzer, also, her voice breaking with tears, condoned the marriage bill or condemned the marriage bill from the floor. Protect religious liberty, protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage. Holzer, who lost her bid for Missouri's Senate seat this year, said, I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and dangerous bill. Among those spotted in the House for final passage was Senator Tammy Baldwin, who led the charge for the bill in the Senate, and former Representative Barry Frank, the first congressman to voluntarily come out as gay. I was there for the birth of the Defense of Marriage Act, and I'm here for the funeral, Frank said. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.